Well, I think I've asked some of you this question before, so you ought to be able to finish this sentence for me. I am not a racist, but... Excellent, thank you. I am not a racist, but... as we explore this particular gospel, we explore the reality of some of the preconceptions that we live with about others. And we come to recognise that Jesus was a first century Jew, brought up in the culture of first century Judaism, and having the concepts and the racial concepts and the racist concepts of a first century Jew. Jesus was brought up with the stories of the Hebrews. He knew his Bible very well. He knew the story of his people very well. And that foundational story that all good Christians know as well as all good Jews, the story of Genesis, is full of what we would call racist propaganda. It is full of propaganda against the Canaanites. And in that Genesis story, the Canaanites are always bad. Who killed Abel? Cain. Of course he did. Because the Canaanites are bad. Also, Cain killed Abel, so all Canaanites are murderers. All Canaanites are murderers. And this woman is a Canaanite. And Jesus was brought up knowing that all Canaanites are bad. The movement of our culture does, in terms of how it informs our view of people. And I think if we are at least conscious of that, it becomes a little easier for us to follow the example of Jesus and to reach beyond the fears that we may have about others. Who, brought up in that deep hatred and fear of the Canaanites, is able to reach out across cultural and social and religious barriers, to touch the need of another. If we are to be his followers, then we also need to overcome our fears, our anxieties, the things that our culture tells us about other people, and to reach beyond those barriers as well. Many of the early Christians read these scriptures metaphorically. And I have a deep sympathy for that way of reading scripture. And so the story that follows, the story of the Syrophoenician woman, is an important story. Jesus continues to go through the Decapolis, the 10 cities. It is the area of the Gentiles. Again, he is in the land of the Gentiles. He is out of his cultural world. He has reached across the barrier of religion and culture. And it is brought to him a man who is deaf and therefore cannot speak. Now, the early theologians would have seen this story as an important follow-on to the story of the Syrophoenician woman. It is not just about a man who cannot hear. It is about the very ability to hear, to be informed, to be changed, to be open. Ephrathah, be open. And I think the challenge that the early Christians would have seen in this story, and the challenge perhaps we ought to see in this story, is when we are confronted by the connection the Syrophoenician woman makes with Jesus, that we too are challenged to hear him say, Ephphatha, be open. Be open. Overcome our fears, which are real, but overcome our fears. Reach out and take the hand of someone who is different.